Next is Sarah Odom, and she would like to speak on a non-agenda item. Hi, Sarah.
Good morning. Okay, so I'm Sarah Odom. I'm starting my own initiative project to, aid the homeless problem. Because just recently, up until a couple months ago, I was homeless on the streets, sleeping in a tent, sleeping in abandoned buildings, definitely not getting the help I needed, not knowing where to turn to get help if I wanted it. I came here first to try. So anyway, what I wanted to touch base on is, yes, community collaboration. I agree. It's got to be a community thing as a whole. And as far as a lot of like homeless people like congregating like in the library and things like that, it's close to other resources. That's why. That was the main problem that I found that I had was like trying to hang out somewhere, or having somewhere to be, get out of the sun. It was hot. I mean, summer was brutal. But actually, it's kind of a funny story because Jeff Warner with, I think he works for LASA. I had no interest in talking to any outreach, but one day I was sitting in an abandoned building, hot, okay, sweating, and he did something as simple as, "You want a bottle of water?" And I was like, yeah, it was hot. I was willing to finally, like, you know what, so hospitality, it does work. But I'm not saying coddle homeless people because that's not going to help either. Okay, so as far as my project is concerned, one of my goals, I talked about it before, was recognizing businesses that treat homeless people really compassionately. So I'm still working on that. Trying to get as much information about as many businesses as possible that I've heard that are actually, you know what, they treat people pretty well, or, you know, things like restaurants, things of that nature. I'm sorry, I'm reading notes. Yeah, I guess that's all I had to share. Thanks.
Sarah, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. You've come a long way in the last few months or whatever. Where are you as far as rebuilding your life?
Okay, I'm starting literally from scratch, like literally taking care of myself, making sure cleaning up, doing laundry consistently, doing dishes consistently. When you're homeless, you develop really terrible habits. Trash goes wherever because, there's no trash like Pega. There's no, I tried really hard to keep trash contained. I encourage others to do the same. But one of the main things I'm working on now is taking care of myself, making sure my hygiene is kept up. And I'm being honest, making sure my hygiene is kept up. My, duties, and where I'm staying at now, keeping clean, aiding in, trying not to run up all the utilities. All these things I'm considering. I'm also getting in touch with my family. I have a relationship with my son again. Next step is employment. So it's scary. It's definitely a transition. And it took a little time, too. It wasn't like I could just get on the street or get off the street and then overnight, I have a job and, I'm just, productive. It doesn't work that way. It's been slow, and I had some issues I had to work out within myself as well. There's a lot going on. When you're homeless, people don't treat you very well. And it definitely tends to make a person kind of bitter. But I definitely feel like I'm working on that as well. Getting more in touch with people, realizing not everybody's mean, not everybody's out to get us. So I've been working, just slowly transitioning.
Do you have a lead on the employment? Are you working with somebody specific? Or?
Okay, so I've spoke with Toy and Christina. So I'm working actually with them.
Okay.
Well, I need to get back in touch after the holidays. But yeah, employment is definitely much higher on the priority list than it was, because now I feel like I'm ready for it. Proving I could be punctual, show up, be responsible, be accountable, and those things are important. So I'm making them my priority.
Can I just say something really quickly? First, Sarah has proven herself, and I don't know what the right commendation is, but at minimum, I think a salute and an applause is in order. I I've had the pleasure of speaking with Sarah as our staff, and Nick talked about collaboration, and I think, and not that you ever want to test the waters, but Sarah allowed us to do that because Sarah showed up as a person in need, and when you sit here and say we are going to help, she held us all accountable. And I appreciate you holding us accountable. Valley Oasis was able to respond. The church, what's the name of it? True Life responded. I hope you felt the city responded.
Oh, yes, I do.
And so I know it works. So I agree with you, Nick. There is greater collaboration to be done. But the beauty of this is that all things were put aside, and Sarah, as a person, became our priority and remains our priority. And we give you that word. I know that we had the public talk about $15 an hour. You can't buy a house. But what I'd like to say is that it's a step. And we have talked to Sarah. Sarah is very interested in our program. And whether or not we're funded through this program, we now have facilitated conversations with folks who are going to be able to work on employment with Sarah. So I say all that to say it's a process. And while we certainly know lives are at stake, I would just ask all of us to be patient, and at minimum, think of Sarah when we're getting frustrated through the process, and know that the reason we are here is working, and we look forward to it working more. But I'm going to take the moment to celebrate Sarah, and I believe this is a big accomplishment for all of us, and more importantly for Sarah. So thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thanks, you guys.
Oh, Sarah, I remember when I first met you. You've come a long way,
Thank you.
and I'm so proud of you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so
And
much.
you have, what we do here shows in you.
Thank you.
And that gives me personally more to go forward, a lot harder. And how about Joe? What is he doing now?
He's actually in the back.
Oh, there you are. Hi,
come on,
Joe.
Stand up, Joe. Say hello. Oh, he's shy.
But what you're doing is great. And God bless you, sweetheart.
Thank you very much. Oh, he does.